January is like rolling along already.
Yes. Yeah, I know that it has because my house has hit peak squeak.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's an older house, which means in the winters, like, it creaks and the floor creaks and the stairs creak.
Because the boards shrink up?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah, my house has hit peak squeak.
That's cute.
That's great.
I love that. Well, I think one thing this year that kind of made everything seem like it went really fast was how late Thanksgiving was.
Yeah, that less than, just around 4 weeks in between. And it was just crazy. Yeah. But we managed to get through everything at Fantasy Gifts. And
how was it?
And it was okay. And then we hit, nothing that I was exactly what I was expecting. Nothing, I would have loved to go, wow. But, it was ordinary, normal, which is good.
Yeah.
And then post Christmas each year has always grown. I think people, Christmas is not, it's become more just, it's not as religious.
Yes. That's true.
And so it's a much longer time. Mm-hmm. Multiple families, multiple gatherings, stuff like that. So the buying is really, really spread out.
Oh, okay.
And I think people had a very, very happy New Year.
Okay. Yeah. Well, it's kind of funny because I don't think that traditionally, that fantasy gifts are big family gifts, but I don't know.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. It used to be. Yeah. I mean, we used to sell an awful lot of stuff, and we still do, but it's much more spread out. The numbers always add up, but it's not, which is so much better because we're not so freaking exhausted. Yeah. I'm not having to drive around and, do multiple change runs and stuff like that. Also because people are much more comfortable using our credit card. Because you do realize that 2020, 40th anniversary year.
Is it really?
40. Yep.
Wow. 40 years.
Uh-huh.
Oh my gosh.
I've been doing this coming up 31 years.
No kidding.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy.
It is a lot of fun. Although I don't get to do as much fun. I mean, we got some new butt plugs in. I took some pictures of that. We got more tails in. Tails, they're like butt plugs that have manes on, tails in rainbow and purple and pink and blue and then more natural horse colors for pony play and all the stuff and unicorns. And I'm just like, I mean, I'm like, hey, whatever floats your boat, right? Pretty much, except for that whole roasting thing from 2 years ago.
Oh yeah, no, that's disgusting. And the nose, you didn't like the nose fetish either.
Bodily fluids things have a problem, but still, even so, that's not as And I just look at these tails and I go, we just keep selling more and more.
Didn't you say Fridley was like the big tail?
Fridley, everyone. I mean, we used to have them at a few stores. They're at all the stores now.
No kidding.
I've been social mediaing like crazy. I've been having fun with that. I put all the apps on my phone. So I sit around in bed and I send out pictures of merchandise and I write little captions. And people are like, ooh, we're having fun. And I'm like, yeah.
Yeah.
So you can subscribe to this podcast. You can like us all over their place like that. And you know what? On our website, Fantasy Gifts, Minnesota, fantasygiftsmn.com, right there on one of the slides, there's a % off code, which still no one has used. But last year, 6 people used it. It's right there. Folks, I don't ask you to do anything. I don't ask you to sign up for the news paragraph, which is what I'm calling it.
A news paragraph. I love that.
It's not going to be or anything. I'm not nothing. I'm not asking you to go to a store and like us, post a selfie, anything to get a code. It's just right there.
Just use the code.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. But so we'll see if we can beat 6 people using the code in 2020.
Perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So this story is kind of interesting. Mm-hmm. So a high school, this is out of New York State, high school soccer coach has come under fire for taking his team to Hooters. They had just lost after an undefeated season. Well, it ended, right? Their undefeated season ended. So their coach, Mr. Blake White, decided to take the players to the restaurant, which of course is known for women dressed in tight, revealing clothing. And, it doesn't hurt probably the bigger your boobs, that kind of thing.
But, have you really seen through? I mean, they wear like tights under their shorts. There's no skin. There's no, you can actually
belly skin sometimes.
Sometimes. But
yeah.
Honestly, I've seen what high school and junior high folks are wearing, even in the winter. Honestly, I don't particularly think Hooters is all that risque anymore.
No. I mean, I haven't thought that for.
I've never actually had any food there. I don't know. Just going through there, maybe because being surrounded by that much orange is frightening to me.
I know. Yeah.
But yeah, you still don't bring your team there.
No. Well, no. And so they got summoned to a mandatory meeting. The kids and everybody, and the superintendent of schools there is a female, and she was pretty upset. And here's her quote: "As a female superintendent, I took this very seriously, addressed it with the students and the individual. Corrective action has been taken." Don't know if he's been fired, but back in 2013, another coach in Oregon was fired for planning a party and all of that. And just a couple of things. Like you said, it's not that risque. Some people really object to the idea of Hooters, and even though their logo is an owl, we all know what they're talking about. They think that that's, just tacky and crass. So do you think that do you think that they should fold because of Me Too?
No. I mean, the thing is, they're out there. They don't hide what they're doing. They know what's going on. And besides, I mean, honestly, and I've always thought this about any sort of part where someone is making money off their boobs. If someone can make money off their boobs, make some damn money off the boobs.
Okay.
It's going through there. I don't, do I think that if folks were less, if I thought that boobs were less of an issue, like folks could be topless or breastfeed in public, and because boobs weren't so exciting anymore, that Hooters went away, that would be spectacular. But I'm not going to be, right now, guys and some women like looking at boobs. And if someone can make some money off those boobs. Now, I know there's a whole thing over there, but on the absolute, scale of things that I want to put like energy into, that would not be one of them.
Yep.
Yeah, I think possibly one of my nephews, their team ended up at a Hooters once. All I know is I've seen them, maybe. Are they older? I don't know. I mean, but it's still, you don't need. I mean, if a family member or whatever, the whole family wants to go to Hooters and get some wings, great. Yeah. But as a coach in general, should you be saying, adding to the objectification? Probably not.
Yeah, I mean, anything that involves kids. Underage kids without permission slips and all of that other kind of stuff. Even if you're being treated to a meal, I just think just stay away from it, people. Just be safe. Just be safe. But I will say, over the years, we've seen so many chains come and go. They start out smoking hot, Planet Hollywood, and all of its various incarnations. And then they die. And this one's been around for quite a while now.
Yeah. I mean, there was a Planet Hollywood in the Mall of America here, and there was a Hard Rock in downtown Minneapolis, and neither of them made it. Something else opened up. Did someone reopen up in the mall? I don't know. Because if I want to have mediocre food, I'll just go to a local Perkins. I don't need to overpay for it.
Right. Yeah.
I don't probably want breakfast, stuff like that. So and it's difficult at mid-range. So they've got a gimmick. I mean, there's another, I don't think we have any here. There's another chain out there, Kilties or Kilt or something, where the
Tilted Kilt?
Tilted Kilt or something. Don't they wear tiny little
plaid
things?
Those are naughty schoolgirl outfits, quite honestly.
And I don't think they even bother wearing tights. I mean, honestly, the Hooters folks are quite covered up.
Yeah, the Tilted Kilt outfits are, and the skirts are so short you can see butt cheeks. And I don't know, butt cheeks maybe for guys or some women, but I don't want to see butt cheeks when I'm eating.
No.
Not really. Okay, I haven't done this in a while.
Okay.
But this one, I can stand it. A little Reddit thread. It's not a very big deal, but it's kind of funny. An unidentified workplace posted a sign that said, you have a time limit for using the bathroom or they have to face a smell check. And it's in an attempt to deter workers from taking long breaks, and they think that they're in there just playing on their phones. So if they're in there for 10 minutes, longer than 10 minutes, they go in, and if it doesn't stink, then they're in trouble.
Well, considering the fact you can buy fart spray, you can certainly get around that. I mean, I don't sell that, but do you know there was it a couple weeks ago that we talked about the tilted toilet? Someone else, someone has designed a toilet with a slope to it, so it's actually painful to sit on after 5 minutes.
Oh my God.
I think this was Great Britain. I'm not sure.
My father could have used that.
What's going through there? Because considering the fact that this would be the absolute opposite of the squatty potty. Remember the commercial from a couple years ago with the unicorn and the prince, and occasionally that just shows up in social media again for the entertainment value that it is, because it's a complete wrong angle to go to the restroom in.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. For sure. Okay, this next story takes me way back. I will tell you that when I was in California and when I bought my first house, I had chickens and ducks because I had 2 acres.
Okay.
And I thought it'd be fun.
I don't think so.
Okay.
Sorry, just we're at my office. As you guys all know, that we do the Great Northern Sexcast for my office, and I happen to have a phone system that is not quite functioning.
Yep.
So I've got like one ear on the door waiting for the repair person who said they would be here a good 20 minutes ago.
Oh, it's
Maybe
half an hour now. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh.
Here comes the studio dog. Here comes Fred the studio dog. Fred.
No.
Oh.
Well, I know that animals feel comfortable with you when they're butt facing you, because then you're behind them and they can't see you. But my cats do that too. It's always butt first.
I know. Why? And they're very excited about that.
Yes,
and cats like to put their butts in your face, which, yeah. I'm like, no starfish, thank you.
No.
I don't need to see that.
Do you know that there are purple starfish? Not on cats. But I went to the zoo a few weeks ago on New Year's Day, and they have purple starfish. And I'm like, oh, God, I have a purple house. And now I
Like
want purple
live purple
starfish.
starfish.
Oh.
Really?
So but I just like purple starfish. And then it goes right around to the fact that, you can probably have light up your own starfish if you get a light up butt plug.
See?
It all honestly pretty much comes down to butt stuff.
But does it blink?
Some of them do.
Wow. A blinking butt plug.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I was so entertained.
Okay. We will get back to the story in just a minute, but that blinking reminded me of something. So,
okay.
But a friend of mine, very good friend of mine of many, many years, had a really horrible situation. She sold a home that she'd lived in for 20 years. And it was her daughter's childhood home, and her daughter's out of college and living with her boyfriend or whatever. So she sold that house and bought a place with her fiance, right? So she had 2 full storage units of things. Okay. Long story short, the storage company got her account numbers screwed up with somebody else, thought she hadn't paid and sold her stuff without any notification. Everything is gone. All of her kids' pictures. This was a huge, horrible thing, right?
Yeah.
So for Christmas, and you're thinking, where is Kelly going with this? For Christmas, and she said, maybe everybody just get me a Christmas ornament or something like that. Well, I actually bought her a live spruce tree, okay, that she could plant eventually in her garage. Or backyard in her garage.
I would like to. I'm like, that's an interesting garage. Right?
Yeah, no. So, and then I put battery operated lights on it that had all different, whatever. And I got ornaments, and then I did what I called planted memories, and I tied memories from the last 15 years of our friendship all over this tree. So, and I made them G-rated, and in some cases, we've had some escapades. Okay, let me just say.
In other words. You must have spent a few moments trying to find the right words to describe something.
Oh my God!
My friends and I got together over the holidays several times.
Yeah,
and we're having these conversations, and most of our children are
within earshot.
Are adults now.
Oh, okay.
And so it's funny because occasionally they've heard us talk first, but occasionally you would see one of their heads just whip around.
Like, what did you do? What did you do?
It was really, really funny. Oh, did you hear the doorbell?
I think so.
Okay.
So the kids are like...
Sorry for the interruption.
Yeah, no. So the kids are on to you. Okay. So I did. I spent a lot of time trying to word this because her fiance, they've really, I know they're going to be a good match and everything, but they've only known each other about a year and a half. And I don't know how much he knows about the fact that we were both divorced and on the town together.
I mean, people have passed, but you don't really know how someone else is going to deal with that. And it's not your job to go, hey, the time we were in Mexico.
Right. And I knew that some of her family might see it, you know, so, okay, this was harder than I thought it was going to be. Right. So I show up, my husband and I stopped by on Christmas Eve to her house to deliver this to her. And she was like, oh my God, she was so touched. And, you know, cause I had a sign that I taped to the bottom. It said planted memories, and it said, think implanted memories, but not the creepy psychologist trying to convince you were molested as a child kind. These are more like things never go away. So she's like, Well, she reads this one about how we had been at a party on the floor of the New York Stock Exchange, which was the coolest fucking thing ever. I'm not kidding you. And how then we went out on the town with some of our conventionaire friends, and I lost my phone in New York, in a New York hotspot is what I put down. And I said, yeah. And her fiance says, he goes, that must have been a little traumatic. I said, yeah, I have no idea, but it was somewhere in New York. And Sue goes, I know exactly where you lost your phone. And I looked at her, really, because I didn't remember. I mean, I just knew I lost it, right? I go, you do? And she goes, yeah, at the strip club. She just blurts it out there. I spend all this time trying to be,
to be subtle.
And I'm like, well.
But it's, see, but that's it. Now they can have fun going, well, what's that mean? If she wants to.
So I said, you know what? Next year, this is going to be a tradition now, and the freaking gloves are off. The gloves are off. Okay, sorry. I totally diverted.
No. It's fun.
But I had chickens and ducks when I had my first house, and the goal was to get eggs. I've always wanted to have chickens and fresh eggs because I just thought that would be so much fun. But I also had ducks. And long story short, we also had red-tailed hawks that lived in the eucalyptus trees, which one by one they picked off the chickens. And the ducks ended up flying away, which made me happy, you know, because I gave them a nice little start in life, and then they went and did duck things. Well, this guy in Maine, he had a bobcat attack and ate a bunch of ducks, but there was one female duck that lost her mate, and it's a young one. Her name is Yellow Duck. And so Chris Morris said she's been depressed. So he does a singles ad and posts it around town. Duck seeking duck. And lonesome runner duck seeks companion partner recently deceased. Serious replies only. And a woman, Sadie Green, said, you know what? I have a slew of male ducks, so we're going to set up a date, and we're going to let them meet and see if they get... And her favorite meal, Yellow Duck's favorite meal, are slugs. So they're going to put out a nice plate of slugs and make it romantic.
Runner ducks, I think, are the ones that sort of are really sort of much more upright than other ones. Like,
the long, skinny necks.
Yeah, I've seen them at the poultry barn at State Fair here in Minnesota.
Yeah, they're cute. Yeah. I love ducks.
So they had a little duck date.
So we don't know how it turned out yet.
Oh, I hope it turned out really well.
I know.
No, I had bird feeders out for a while until one. It took about 9 months for the squirrels to figure them out, and then that was the end of that. But a little bit before that, there was a hawk that because the Cooper's hawks will swoop in and they will eat the smaller birds. And I'm like, it took them a while because I had different lines and stuff like that. But then I realized that one of them figured out the angle. And I'm like, oh. So, but before there was a total bloodbath in my backyard, I ended up pulling because the damn squirrels were just eating all the damn feed anyway. Because the squirrels were too big for these hawks, but the tiny little chickadees and the little tiny purpley
nuthatches and martins. And, that's too bad.
No,
we have owls at my lake place, and I know this for a fact because one buzzed my brother's head sitting on the deck. And I'm just like, okay, that's terrifying, but very cool.
Awesome.
Oh my God.
I will never, and I don't know, I know it has nothing to do with great success, but other than the fact that sometimes when you just feel good, then the rest of the day feels good. What is it about seeing a bird of prey, an owl, an eagle, an osprey, a decent, that just, I mean, these things, when we were kids, were almost extinct. And now they've been brought back. You know, stuff like that. It's just, I will never not be fascinated when I see an eagle and stuff like that.
Oh, me too.
And I'm in a suburb, and they circle my parking lot.
I know. It's so cool.
Oh, okay.
So cool. Birds.
Yeah.
Okay, Dolly Parton. She's kind of an interesting gal.
Yeah, she really is. Reese Witherspoon has a show on Netflix. Her first interview was with Dolly Parton.
Cool.
And it's just I don't even think she can wear flat shoes anymore. She always has heels on. I think she's shrunk up her tendons.
Well, she makes me laugh so hard because she says that if she was a guy, she'd be a drag queen because she loves,
Oh yeah.
And she just seems like the sweetest person ever.
Yeah, I've been married forever and gives away millions of books.
Yes.
Yeah, and when I read this, she didn't. Elvis Presley wanted one of her songs, and she would not sell it even to Elvis Presley. She all that music she still owns.
That's interesting. That is really great. Well, she's married to Carl Dean, as you noticed, 53 years, by the way. So there's a bunch of really pretty in-depth interviews with her right now because she's done a movie and, of many, but this last one's called Heartstrings. But anyway, she's talking about her marriage to Carl Dean and the fact that she never had kids. And, she's one of 11 kids, and she said she always thought they would. They didn't try not to, but it just never worked out. So she said all of her siblings' children call her Aunt Granny. And, but she also talks in depth. This is a great story. We'll post it on the Great Northern Sexcast Facebook page. But she just loves him to pieces, and she jokes about be gone a lot. But she says no, we really, really are into each other still. 53 years, isn't that cool?
Oh, that just makes you think. She was like, the fact that they still have. I bet they still hold hands.
Oh, I'm sure.
I just love that. You see folks out holding hands. You're like, oh. And if you see a young couple doing it, they're not self-conscious about it, all different ages and stuff like that. I'm a hand holder. We hold hands. So it's just sort of fun, and it's just sweet.
It's funny. We do too, but it's usually when we're at home watching TV, because to walk and hold hands, I know this is going to sound silly and weird. My husband's hands are so big that if we try to interlock at all, it actually hurts my fingers because it's like,
Sometimes it's just like, especially in the summer, like two arms, it's just like the bottom two fingers, or we'll walk with our pinkies around each other.
It's kind of funny. So how we said, maybe fantasy gifts is not, entirely a Christmas gift or a family Christmas gift, but they could be the Christmas gift that leads to a family. But this next one, don't know about this. There is a game called Willy Wars. Shoppers are claiming it's perfect for playing with the family. Allow me to tell you what happens in this game. It involves wearing a giant inflatable penis around your waist with fellow players aiming to land a plastic hoop around it. It's a ring toss.
We had something like that.
And that's fine. But for families...
Well, I've seen it with balloons. I'm not exactly sure why you would have a... Yeah, that would be interesting.
I'm not a fan of things being thrown at me.
Oh, no.
So like dodgeball, when I was a kid, I freaking hated dodgeball. It's like
I was little and I was really short. Not that I'm tall now, but my face was about chest height of everybody else's. So at one point, by the time I hit junior high, I just said no. I refused. I refused to play. What were they going to do?
Well, they made us do it in junior high as part of PE, and I'm like, you know what? I don't like this.
No, I brought a book. And I sat in the corner and I said, if we actually do something that's learning about something, I'll do it. And if not, I'm going to sit over here and read. And they absolutely the PE teachers had no idea what to do.
Yeah, good for you.
I refused.
Well, here's another thing you should never do. Okay? Just saying. A Coyote Ugly nightclub over in the UK, I think it was in Swansea, Wales, actually, is in big trouble after Brittany Askew and Karina Sparks, aged 23 and 25 respectively, were seriously injured when they slipped on a wet bar. They were up there dancing, and
is that from that movie like 25 years ago?
That's another chain we were just talking about. Yeah. And they are prosecuting the company. I mean, there's a lawsuit here. One actually, one got cut, but the other one fractured her spine. That is so freaking serious. She couldn't work for 4 months, and that's going to be lifelong problems for that woman. That's life altering right there. So
I never thought of. Because they show if it's like in the movie, they're like, they're like up on the bar dancing. I've seen it in other
in
places.
cowboy boots.
In cowboy boots. And this is the first time they've been, I'm surprised, I'm surprised. I mean, I'm not sure what you would, you'd have to put up sticky stuff or something. I'll be curious to see what the bars look like after this lawsuit. But
I think they should put the waitresses in those sumo suits, so or the dancers, so that if they fall, it doesn't. They just bounce.
Have you ever? I've never worn one of those. Have you ever been like at a local Saints game or something? And been one of the folks that gets in the sumo suit?
No, and I would love to, but here's the problem: if a bunch of other people have been in it, I've heard they stink, and
Oh God! I'm just sort of gagging right now as you're saying it.
So I can't.
It would have to be a brand new suit.
I know. I want to be the first one, and then I'll do it.
Okay.
Speaking of sticky stuff, this is crazy. This is really hilarious. Okay. So the broadcasting company BBC One is doing a new version of Dracula. It's going to air in the UK over 3 nights, and I'm sure we'll be able to see it at some point on Netflix or something like that. Okay, let's just get the sophomore giggle out of the way right now and say that the person starring as Dracula is a Danish actor, and his name is Claes Bang. Okay, let's just...
B-A-N-G?
Yeah.
Okay.
So what they did, because they were creating special effects for this new version, they melted down 80 rubber sex toys. So they're trying to... They wanted to create a scene where this vampire is seen being reborn from a fleshy membrane that looks like a giant condom. So they created it using the stretchy, strong latex from intimate sex aids, and they said it was silicone.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and so and they were brand new. They were not used. Which, if you're going to melt them, I would. But still, that's just like getting in a sumo suit that somebody else.
Like, is that like did they have like a really big pot? Like,
It doesn't really say.
Like you would make like an outdoor gumbo in? Because now I'm really, interested. Do you melt a few at a time? Are they
well, don't you want to melt one now? Like so bad. You know what? Let's order one of those pans on TV.
Yeah, I can't even imagine what in the world that would smell like.
Well, we could put gas
I have a
masks.
friend who's actually won or been a part of the Oscar-winning team for special effects on a film. I wonder if he would know.
You need to get back to me on this.
Yeah,
I would like you to make a couple phone calls, please. But otherwise, we can order one of those as seen on TV pans that are indestructible and just try melting something and see what happens.
Oh, I didn't want to think about what that would smell like. But honestly, though, I'm not sure because old. I mean, this is something I was writing. Just writing a sort of a little Happy New Year note because I do a blog every now and then, and I was thinking about just the difference in materials over the years. I mean, when we first started, the plastic, it was sort of like the stuff that, how shower curtains stink when you open them up. The dildos were sort of made out of that same stuff.
Right.
And now most of them are made out of either silicone or silicone blends, and they've taken out the hardeners and the stuff that was the sticky stuff. And I mean, and like anything, anyone can be allergic to something, but people would sort of sometimes break out, from them. But I mean, hell, people break out from everything. So I break out from Band-Aids on me. So I'm not, but I do like the fact that they're easier to clean because there's fewer pores in dildos nowadays. They smell better, and the colors are better. I mean, there were so many different colors in dildos. They used to call something nude, which drove me insane 31 years ago, because you know what? There are 7 billion people on this planet, and every nude is different. So that drives me crazy, And then you don't really want to use food colors. So now it's just, sometimes they just say like brown, light brown, black, beige, to really, it's going through there, but the
food colors.
The more natural colors are becoming popular again, but I think they're getting really better at them. Then there's just the fantasy ones, multicolored ones. I mean, the wall of dildos at my Burnsville store is just fascinating. So many. I mean, all the materials, everything. I mean, the improvements in the past 40 years in the sexual health industry is just fascinating.
For sure.
I still can't get Lisa's, but the toys are so much better.
Unbelievable. I was, that came up in conversation with somebody that you've had trouble. Actually, it was with my husband, and he found that absolutely astounding. And I said, it's real. I said, Colleen's even been arrested before.
Oh, yep.
And he was
it's been decades since, no one's been arrested in this century.
Okay.
But, I'd be willing to do it again, especially now that my kid's old enough. I don't got to worry about that,
Yep. Unbelievable. Was it dismissed or how was it handled?
Oh, yeah. It was just, the lawyer made it go away.
Okay.
Because they said, you can let her go, or we can sue you for so much money because this is massively unconstitutional. The city had a very badly written law that should not have been on the books and had been overturned in a zillion different places. Mm-hmm. And so there was at least a reasonable city attorney that told the city, he said, no, I never even got to the fingerprinting photo stage. The lawyer squashed that sucker immediately.
Good.
But I still got to do the car ride and the handcuffs and the holding cell.
Because you knew you were going to be okay and you weren't like...
Oh, yeah. I was in the store. I knew I was going to be arrested.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Oh, my God. Mm-hmm. Okay. I've never been arrested, and I actually don't think I want to try it. I'm very freaked out about incarceration of any kind. So that keeps me completely paranoidly honest. So I couldn't tell you a Spice Girl song, by the way, if you held a gun to my head. Honestly, I don't think I could. I might be able to say a couple of their names, but Mel B is one, and she was recently on a show called Truth Flirts. And she was talking about she's dating, and she apparently marches everybody right down to a clinic before she ever has sex. And she does it. She's like, let's go to the clinic together and get it done. Mm-hmm. And she says, I'm single. I always have condoms. And she's like, this is what's going to happen. And she's a mother of 3. And she's one's 13. The other 2 are 12 and 8. Big open relationship. But she talks about how, yep, we're going to do that. And, Yeah,
it's always been fascinating that this conversation comes up every few years about being tested like that it goes that the sexually transmitted diseases, and I think there's a different term for it now, just they'll go low for a while when people are talking about it, then they go then they rise when people stop talking about it, sort of like the fact that there were tens of thousands of measles cases in the world this year, in the past few years, and it was almost eradicated because people don't think that you need to do anything. But you still need condoms. Mm-hmm. I've mentioned this before. Condoms used to be. I felt years ago we had a lot of condom novelties, and I think it was getting, because condoms were still hush hush, and you didn't really talk about it, and were embarrassing. But I really thought that the condom novelties got conversation started, and now I really don't think it's that big of a deal.
Yeah,
to buy a condom, we don't even sell. A condom lollipop isn't funny anymore. What's embarrassing about that? You're not going to embarrass anyone with a condom novelty, and I love that. Mm-hmm. But but folks do need to realize that this is that there are still viruses out there. There's still different things that you want to need to know about. Mm-hmm. And especially if you're someone who's older. The person you're going to have sex with has probably had sex before. A lot.
Yep.
Well,
yep.
Their skills come with some risks.
Oh, for sure. For sure. Mm-hmm. So, next up, women's pickup lines. Did you just hear the heavy sigh from the studio dog?
I was like, oh.
He is very, very vocal, and he moans and he groans. He's just a funny dude. Mm-hmm. Fred is so happy. Okay, so St. Mary's University and Bucknell University did a study. So they asked 18 heterosexual women to come up with pickup lines, which then they were divided into innocuous, flippant, or direct. So then they took 250 heterosexual men, and then they were asked to rate photos of women for attractiveness and promiscuity. Then the final step was to test out the pickup lines on randomly assigned men. So direct pickup lines were preferred over flippant or innocuous. The direct pickup lines were things like,
"Hey, wanna?"
Well, actually, want to have a drink together? Can I have your number? Flippant, shall we talk or continue flirting from a distance? And I'm easy, are you? The least effective lines deemed innocuous included, "Can you recommend a good drink? Where'd you get that tattoo? Did it hurt?" Okay. But here's the weird part. Regardless of the line used, once a woman had been deemed attractive by the male participants, she got a higher rating. So it didn't matter what she said because she was attractive. So wasn't that kind of funny?
I mean, honestly, so it sort of works like that for guys too.
Yeah.
I mean, each person, each society has a subset of human beings that the majority of folks deem more attractive than others.
Yeah.
And they have advantages. They have advantages in getting laid. They have advantages in getting jobs. They have an advantage of getting promoted once you're in those jobs.
Yep.
There are advantages
Yep.
to what it's decided attractive. So a pickup line or no pickup line. Oh, I was really bad at. I mean, I consider myself cute. It's going through there, but I was really bad at like bar stuff. My friends were bigger, louder, and had much larger boobs than I did. I got them now, but I didn't have them in my 20s. Yeah, and we would fling them out there, and they would bring people back to the table. It was like fishing. Just send the big booby ones out and come back.
Then bring just for trolling.
Yes. That was, but that was in our 20s. It's going through there, or you go dancing and you do that. I'm sort of watching it as my my friends' kids and my daughter start going out and doing things, and I'm just like, honestly, not that much has changed.
No, human nature. I mean,
no,
we can
really
talk
doesn't.
about how risque things are, or whatever. People don't change. They just don't.
No.
I mean, it's just the toys are different, and when I say toys, I mean everything from cars to technology, cell phones. Yeah.
Because I laugh because I mean people are like I know what the conversations I had with my friends in my teens and 20s, and they were graphic. And when people say, we don't talk that way, yeah, we did.
Yep. Yeah.
I mean, maybe my friend group was an anomaly, but there wasn't too much we did not talk about. And, and we continue to talk about stuff. It's going through there.
Yeah. Just a quick mention, we'll post this article. Ashley Graham, she's a supermodel, and she did an interview with Vogue, and she just said, she's the first mom to be, so she's pregnant. And one of the things that she talked about was, sex during pregnancy and having to modify. But as a model, I thought this was really interesting. She said she was gaining weight really rapidly, and it was freaking her out because of what she does for a living, right?
I mean, she's my fascinating part is that she's still about half the size of me, and she's a plus size model. She's like a 14 or something like that, But she still is bigger than a size 0,
right?
What's going through there,
right?
But I can see that just even though she's the size she is, she still has that stuck in her head that it's crawled in there and taken root. Mm-hmm.
Well, her stylist said go get some pregnant friends, and she did. And it helped because she needed to be around other people. I thought that was pretty interesting. Pretty interesting. So Hallmark Channel has been getting a lot of attention lately.
Yeah, they were they the channel that pulled the same sex kiss?
Yep.
Okay.
Yes.
I don't have the Hallmark Channel, so
well, Zola is advertising on I've seen the ads many times on various different networks that I watch. And it's an ad for a dating, or not a dating, a wedding app or whatever. It handles everything.
I thought it was one of their shows. Yeah, I didn't pay too much.
No.
Oh, okay.
So it's like you sign up and it builds a little website for you. It does evites for you. I mean, you coordinate. It's like a competitor
to the Knot. I remember that from eons ago.
I think so.
Okay.
You can coordinate your registry and just everything, there. And that's fine if that's what you want to do, but they have a lesbian couple. I've only seen the lesbian couple. If they have men, I don't know, they probably do, but they had 6 ads and 4 of them show same-sex couples, which is really interesting. But Hallmark,
it's a massive. I mean, only 5 or 6 years now that it's been nationwide. It's a huge business.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, it is. Well, so they pulled the ads because they were getting complaints from viewers, but then they reversed the decision and apologized. You know, it's an interesting thing. I mean, Zola can do whatever they want, and people that want to boycott Hallmark or boycott, you know, whatever. But it's really hard to do, because if you're a network, it's like, what do you do? Like, if you have a bunch of your viewers, do you keep your base happy? You know, I don't know. I think that'd be a tough.
I think they really screwed up. It is 2020 or 2019 when they did that. It is simply, the reality is the truth out there and stuff like that. And they were going to lose. I think these folks who say they're going to boycott stuff, they stay away for a little bit. But I mean, really, has there? I mean, other than the bus boycotts in the '60s and a few other things, what has actually worked? I mean, has there been a boycott that's fun? I don't know. That might have, you know, that's actually worked. You know, that you can think of offhand.
No, I mean, and honestly, there are things that I either choose to support or not support.
Yeah.
For different reasons, but I don't talk about it. It's just, it's my preference.
Yeah, I mean, there are some places I don't shop.
Yeah.
Because they're, or places I don't donate to when going through there.
Yep.
But a lot of it, I find fascinating is that when there'd be like a list of companies that are like, foster, groups that are hate groups or stuff like that. So like that. And I'll look at these companies that have donated people money that are speakers there, and I'm like, damn, I don't even buy from these companies. I'm like, damn, there's nothing I can threaten, because I swear 8 times out of 10, I already don't use that company's services.
Yeah, no, that's, and I think
it's funny. I mean, it's Hallmark. They're not. I mean, I know they have same-sex cards in their stores.
Yeah.
I've seen them. They're really. Honestly, Hallmark has actually gotten a lot less cheesy in their actual greeting card department in the past few years.
Okay, can I just tell you though, greeting cards are so fucking expensive. I went to get a greeting card. It was $7.50 for a fucking card.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Some of the was it papyrus, whatever those were.
Papyrus.
Yeah. With those with all the. With all
sequins
the
and feathers and
the raised
bling
stuffs, and then you have to put like double postage on it. But if I'm only sending a card to someone, I'm not doing a gift or anything. It's nice to send something pretty. They look at it for a little bit, I'm pretty sure some of the when my friends are turning 50, they're going to get a really nice card. When I was giving money to multiple 2019 graduates, they got 99-cent cards from Trader Joe's, because they're going to go immediately into the goddamn garbage.
Right.
So going through there. But I actually have a few cards that I don't keep them forever, but I get tucked around and I stare at them for a while.
Yeah.
And I'll hold on for a little bit. And then eventually I go, okay, I'm doing a big clean, and some of that goes.
I always keep the ones that my husband gives me, because he writes little things and I just can't throw those away.
Yeah, because pretty much. So if you're gonna, like I said, I'm not. I used to be so good at everyone's birthdays and anniversaries, and then fucking life got in the way.
Yes.
But when I do go out and decide I'm gonna get a card, it does sort of shock me. I'm like, sometimes I go, okay, I know I'm gonna go in, but now it's like $1 or $2 more than where my brain. And I was like, okay, gotta readjust. Yeah. You hear like brain cells going, what?
Yeah. Okay. Can I just say, the $7.50 card wasn't even all that great. It was the lesser of the evils that I had to choose from.
Oh, that's
and so that really burned me. I didn't like that.
Yeah, no,
I didn't like it. Okay, this is weird.
We still sell greeting cards.
Oh, you do?
Fantasy gifts, yeah.
Oh, I did not know that.
We don't have nearly as many nude ones as we used to have, because some of those companies have gone out of business, because you can find nude people on the internet all the time, but some are. But we still have some the holiday cards and different things and go through there. I think they're $4 now.
Oh, that's not bad.
Yeah. I lost track.
Although this was for a married couple, a client of mine, and the card needed to house a charitable donation I made in their honor, so probably not naked for that one. But anyway.
No, there used to be a company called TNT that had like trifold cards with naked guys in them and all that sort of stuff. It was spectacular. The gal that Elizabeth was the name of the gal that was the or Liz was the name of the gal that was the card rep. And she was even a couple of years older than my mother. So about 25 years ago, when I'm, doing more of this or that, I'm sitting in this, sitting in the office, and we're going through everything. And my mom and Liz are discussing the cards and my mom's like, well, he doesn't have a pretty face, but he has a really big penis. And I am dying. Because there are just still things that are absolutely hilarious. Watching your mother, because remember, 20 years ago, she's in her 50s, and I'm, I think that's old anyway.
Right, we did then.
Now I'm that age. And I'm just laughing because there they are. Because this woman, she had this set of cards. She only showed it to a few clients. Everything else was like the really fancy cards you would find at like the museums and stuff like that.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Then she has this naked guy line, and they're raunchier than hell.
Fantastic.
And and there's always the pose of the arm up with the armpit, and
oh
my God! But if it had a big dick, it sold, and just I think it would have lasted. I think the company would have made it, but the founder passed away, and we were just getting to the point where the internet was getting big, and I think there was a big estate issue, and they just no one knew what to do with this thing, and they just went away. But oh my God, going, who's the naked guy? I've been just sitting here for 2 hours going through this huge stack of cards, trying to decide how many birthday cards do we have? Do I have enough African American men? Do I have blondes? Yeah, I want a nice selection of naked guys, and it's with my mom and Liz, and it's just. Oh, God, it's fun. Oh, sorry.
No, a good reverie. I liked it.
I'm having a lovely little memory here
I
looking at
had to talk
naked cards.
about my ducks, so it's all good. It's all good. There's a show that debuted this week on the Learning Channel, and it's called Hot and Heavy, and it is a show about mixed weight relationships. This is a new label and a new category, and it's men's relationships with plus-size women and them, quote-unquote, trying to prove to their skeptical friends, family, and the public that love is no matter what you look like. And there are 3 couples, and the women are heavy and the guys aren't, why they didn't have a mix, I don't know.
Well, that's called major network comedies. Ever notice that it's big guys and tiny women? They got whole comedy shows about that shit.
That's true, that's right. It's like, how is he with her? Yeah, Yeah. But anyway, so there's all kinds of people bitching, and if you want to check it out, but there's an article about it. But yeah, now we're calling it mixed weight couples. We needed more labeling. Mixed weight.
Oh God, that is hilarious.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Oh yeah, how do you sit around in with the amount of television networks there are and programming and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. But another life. Oh my God.
Okay. That's good for today, I think.
Let's
just end there.
That makes my head hurt. That's just
mixed weight
silly
couples
and asinine all at the same time.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.